Alright guys, hey, I appreciate y'all joining me today. Today I'm going to show y'all how to do a Cajun jambalaya in a green egg in a 12-quart black pot. We're going to have, I got 3 pounds of, it's some cut up pork fingers I cut up. I just leave the bone in, it adds to your flavor. You could use whatever pork you want, cushion, rose, Boston butt, whatever. But I got 3 pounds of that diced up. I got about 2 pounds of skinless, boneless thigh meat, and about 1.5 pounds of smoked sausage, your choice. Got 3 onions, bell pepper, a couple of stalks of celery, some banana peppers from my neighbor's garden. Shh. No, I'm just joking, he gave them to me. And a jalapeno pepper. Hey, look, and then we got some parsley, some nice parsley that I'm gonna add in there later on. But hey, look, a little secret. If you at the store and you see some parsley wilted, if you just take them and snip the ends and put them in a little glass of water, in about an hour they're gonna liven up. All right, we're gonna season our meat. Some Bad Brad's crop dust. All right, won't be long. We're gonna start. Well, I'm gonna put the pot on the green egg right now. It's holding at about 350. We're gonna put our pot in there, let it get hot, start frying some meat. All right, I'm putting my pot in. I got a pinch of sugar in there. You'll see, if you watch the last video, I was cooking some pork steaks in a rice and gravy, and that's our browning agent. Once it's gonna start getting black and start gumming up, that's gonna add color to the jambalaya once we put the water in. Don't use none of them fake browning in the jars, and there's different kinds, but it's got some artificial flavors. This won't add no flavor to it. Once the sugar's burnt, the sweetness is out of it. All right, guys, I hope y'all could see. You can see that sugar started melting. See, you got this little syrupy. Now you're ready. I got a little bit of this is a little bit of bacon grease from this morning I kept. And then what we're gonna do, I'm gonna brown my smoked sausage first. We're just gonna let that brown. The reason why I want to do my smoked sausage first is because the fat in the sausage is gonna render down with that bacon grease. And then I'll have plenty of grease to fry my pork and my chicken. And what I did, and look, your first time cooking a jambalaya, I wouldn't advise you to cook it on a green egg. You gotta, learn it on the stove first, and then you gotta, look. Some of you experienced green egg cookers, you'll know, but you're gonna have flame. You gotta control your flame from your vents. So when you open the top, the flame's gonna, of course, it's gonna start producing more heat. So once you're gonna close it, it's gonna make the heat die, the flame die a little bit. All right, now we're gonna fry our pork necks. Cover that, and we'll check it in a little while. All right, it's pretty brown, but what I want to do, that meat's still not tender yet. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna add a little water, and the water's gonna ball out. But we need to tenderize the meat before we pull it out. Lid on it. And just let that go a little while. About a half hour. 20 minutes. Alright, it's been about 15 minutes. Let's check it out. Some of that water is boiling out, but that's okay. Meat's not quite tender where I want it, but we're gonna cover it back up. There goes some more. All right, let's check our pork again. You could see it's frying again, so the water balled out. Still not quite tender where we want it, so since the water balled out, we're gonna add up just a little bit more water. A little bit more water and let it go another probably 20 minutes. You don't want to put too much water at a time, because if the meat's already tender and starts falling off and then you got all this water left in it, it's going to mess you up, because you want it to get back to the frying stage. And the reason I say get back to the frying stage is because you still got your thigh meat, your chicken thigh meat to fry, so you don't want to have all that water left in your pot. Alright guys, we're going to take this pork out, and look, I just want you to see it's holding at about 325 degrees, 350. It's been a pretty good heat for, you know, doing what we got to do right now, fry the meat. Alright guys, I think our chicken's ready. Ready for our onions, bell peppers, celery, some banana peppers, some jalapenos. We'll saute that. That's probably going to take overall about, I guess, about 30 minutes or so. I like the crop does that. You pass that a couple of times. She cries. Alright, let's check it out. It's only been about 5 minutes, but about every 5 minutes you want to give it a little stir. Alright guys, let's see what we got. Oh yeah. Now we're ready to put all the meat back in the pot with the onions. Sausage, chicken thighs, and pork. Alright, so we're about ready to put our water in. So we got about 6 pounds of meat, so I'm going to do 6 cups of rice. It's a pretty good ratio. It's a meaty ratio to rice. So what I did was I marked my rice right there, okay? And then we're gonna double so what I did was I have the same container. I put a mark on the container, the same amount of rice right there, but we're gonna double the water, okay? So that's 1 water right here. Now I'm gonna fill that up, that line again, the same thing. We're gonna dump that back in. Okay, that's our 2nd water. Now, I did go, the first one, I went a little bit above the line, so I put like an extra cup of water. It just works out better if the pot's not completely full of you know, your jambalaya. It cooks different. Usually with a half a pot, I gotta put a little bit more water, so I added like an extra cup and a half of water. But here's the second go around. Also, I went ahead and opened up both vents to get the fire back up. That way we can bring it to a ball faster. Look guys, I'm using, it's a long grain rice. It's not parboiled rice. You don't want to use that stuff. If you want to cook like a true Cajun, you don't put no parboiled rice in your jambalaya. You put a regular, you can put a good long grain rice. This one's, you know, from Louisiana. It's called toro rice. But once it's gonna come to a ball, we're gonna add our rice in. All right, let's see what she's doing. It's pretty much holding at 300 degrees, the green egg. But look how it came to a ball. All right. Now, before we put the rice in, you want to taste your juice, see if it needs anything. It's got to be a little bit salty, a little bit, you know, a little strong on the throat. Oh, it got the throat, but it don't have the salt yet. So, and look, you could put, instead of water, you can use chicken broth if you want, but I don't have it. I got this, it's called Better Than Bouillon chicken. This is really salty, so I'm gonna use some base instead of the, since I didn't use any chicken stock. Let me find me a spoon. Put about a good tablespoon. Then I like to put a little bit of granulated garlic powder. That's a couple of tablespoons right there. Let it come back to a bowl. All right, guys, we're about to add our rice. My temperature was going a little down, so I had to end up adding a few more lumps of coal to get my temperature back up to keep that steady ball. All right, I cut up that parsley. Put your parsley in. There goes the rice. All right, we put the rice in. We're gonna cover it for about, you want the water to start boiling out, like the rice to start swelling up before you put the lid on, the pot lid. But so we're gonna check it like every 5 minutes and see what it looks like. Going to come back to a bowl. Because you gotta cut. You still, like you would salt your rice in a rice pot, you still have to do it the same way in jambalaya. So your water's got to be a little salty. All right, we're ready to put the lid on. See that rice? You don't want all the water to boil out. You want it to be able to cook with the lid on too. So what I did was I'm gonna close my my vents top and bottom. All right, we're gonna let that go for about 15 minutes and check it. Okay, I got these green onions from my garden. Look how long these sun guns are. Let's cut them up. It's almost crunch time. So, just to run back what I did when I put the rice. Oh, she thundered.
Oh, she thundered.
All right. Whenever I put the rice in, it was about 8 minutes before I put the lid on. And then we're timing it for another 15 minutes. And then we're gonna check it out. Once we look at it another time, that's when I'm adding my green onions. All right, let's check it out. Woo! We can add our green onions. Sorry about the noise, it's raining out here. Ah, look at that. See how that rice is fluffy? You want to look for the rice when it starts to split. You could see how that rice starts to split in the middle. That's how you know it's done. You don't want no crunchy rice. We're gonna smooth it out and we're gonna let it go for another 5 minutes. All right, guys, it's been resting in the pot. I took it out after letting it go an extra couple of minutes. Took it out, let it rest on the countertop for another 10 minutes. Let's see what we got. And the rice is perfectly cooked. You can see how that rice is split. And it came out good. Before we take a bite of this, we'll say a blessing real quick. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, amen. Thank you, Lord, for the many blessings you give us. We ask you to bless this food, and we ask you to bless the audience watching this. All glory and praise to you, Lord. You got the salt, you got the pepper in the back of the throat. It's awesome. Hey guys, look, this will feed easy 10, 12 people, up to 15, depending on kids or not. I really appreciate y'all watching this video. With God's many blessings, you know, I can't do this without Him. And if it's His will, we will see many more videos.